In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to actually block AI bots, including most hacking bots, from actually crawling your website or your apps. With a single, efficient, simple to use plugin you can host on your own servers. So I've been experimenting with so many potential solutions that I just decided to find one which works even for non-technical people and can be easily deployed by anyone who owns a website. Most existing solutions unfortunately involve really complex systems or use something like Cloudflare, which I do not recommend, and I'll get to it later in the video. Because you'll probably want to avoid an outage, so don't use Cloudflare. Remember what happened in November. Now, why do we want to block bots from scrapping our websites and apps? Well, there are three main reasons. The problem is that most AI bots don't follow the rules and don't play nicely. They scrape websites for data to train models with your copyrighted content, and this is illegal. This has yet to find a solution in the court of law. The second biggest problem is that many bots just try to break into your site, your server, and everything. There are automated bots which will hack your systems. So we want for them not to succeed. And this system will stop them right in the path. But unfortunately, the biggest problem for now for all websites is that these bots or AI bots actually wreak havoc on your resources because they crawl your whole website. If you don't have a simple static website, this will use CPU, disk, RAM, and bandwidth. Given that there are hundreds of such bots which come back to each and every website every few single days, you will get more traffic from bots than you get from real users. These bots have gotten so good that if you buy things like Google Ads or Facebook, there is a chance that much of the traffic will be bot-driven, meaning you will have to pay for the bots instead of real users. This is just a simple image which shows more than 50 to 60% from the traffic will actually be from bots. This is crazy. And if you use website analytics, which relies on JavaScript, and this is everything, even including Google Analytics, they will not show you the bots because bots usually don't run JavaScript. So you'll have to actually look in the server logs to see this. The solution I'm about to show you will require bots to use JavaScript in order to calculate a simple proof of work in a browser. They'll actually have to solve a puzzle. Once correctly solved, your browser gets a cookie available for around 12 hours, but this can be modified anyway. Some systems add more features, but this is the basic system and how it works. And if they're a bot, they will not be able to get past this page. And since most bots don't use either JavaScript nor cookies, they'll get blocked. For those which do use JavaScript but not cookies, they'll have to solve the challenge for every page. We are making the bots use their own resources in order to access our systems instead of actually making our systems unstable. This is so elegant that most users won't notice anything. This works even for users which use ad blockers or scripts like NoScript, which don't have JavaScript enabled. You can customize your template and show them text so they can enable JavaScript temporarily. Now let's get to the part why you shouldn't use services like Cloudflare. The original internet was created to be a distributed and resilient network to any kind of outage, including war. However, our current internet has become super centralized because most people and companies use only a handful of cloud service providers. Even the most decentralized projects like blockchain all depend on a few data centers across the world. This results in a single point of failure. When you depend on any cloud infrastructure, if those servers go down, everything goes down. And the recent Cloudflare and Amazon outages demonstrate that there is a fragility. Now let me explain and simplify this for you. So Cloudflare acts as a tunnel between your server and your clients. However, they can see everything which passes through. Normally, we'd use SSL certificates, which act as HTTPS, which guarantee that your website is who it says it is, and that no one can snoop or can read or can intercept or change data. That's very important. Okay? However, Cloudflare acts like a man in the middle, which is what SSL certificates were supposed to protect against. It sees all the personally identifiable information available, such as passwords, tokens, secrets, and all of private data, which passes through. And actually, there's nothing stopping Cloudflare, or maybe attackers which already infiltrated Cloudflare or such services, from saving and analyzing this data. And you may think, but there's millions of gigabytes. No and yes, they can just snoop the most important data your browser sends, not everything the server sends back. And if they use basic LZ4 compression algorithms, which are extremely efficient, they could store everything which is sent from your browser, all of your personal data. And with AI nowadays, it's pretty easy to analyze this data. So it's best to avoid. The solution is to just self-host. So let's get busy with real-world implementation. I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to set up AI bot protection. We'll be using the Caddy web server for this. Why Caddy? Well, once we set up our plugin, we have less moving parts. We actually use one single system. This is better for management, security, and system administration. Caddy is a reverse proxy and a web server, which automatically handles SSL, TLS, and HTTPS certificates for you. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to rely on specific things. You just run one binary and it does everything for you. It's easy to set up to use, and I highly recommend to use it so you replace any other web server which you may be using right now. I've covered Caddy in previous videos. You can also see the benefits right here on the webpage of Caddy. So in case you want to read, just go to the website. They have a lot of information and the documentation is also great. First, we need to install Xcaddy on our system. Now what's Xcaddy? It's a custom Caddy builder. Copy this code. You need to have Golang installed in order for this to work properly. But you can also install it for your favorite Linux distribution. You could also manually build it. Let's run it. And it will download and install. This is the simple plugin we'll be using. I'm going to show you how to set it up. So let's copy the URL with the plugin. And now we have to wait until it builds everything. It's going to download everything it needs to actually build it. And when it's done, we just run Caddy version and we see that it has been built. From here on, we just need to copy it to our server. I'm going to go to my server. The easiest way is to use SCP, and I've already set up my settings. And then on the server, all you need to do after it's done is just copy it. If you already have Caddy installed, I've shown how to install it in previous servers. We just replace the binary and then we run it. I'm going to show you how to actually edit it. Paste the password. Setting it up is extremely easy. All we have to do is add this proof of work. By the way, this is a handler, a matcher, which we just set above. If, for example, if it's not this page, this is the secret, which we want to make random for each and every one of them. I'm going to change it afterwards. The target, the more zeros you add, the longer it will take for them to build. The challenge timeout when it challenges out. By the way, all of these are defaults, so you can just comment them or delete them. It will work the same. I'm just using them as to explain and to showcase. And then the challenge seed cookie and the solution cookie and the template path if you want a custom path HTML for the system. Once you're done editing, you can exit and then you can just do sudo. You can reload Caddy. And then let me show you how it's going to look. So if you go to our website, we just go to our site and then you'll see this. It's actually verifying. And once it's done, it lets you go through to the website. This is all you need to do. It's extremely easy to set up and to use. If you haven't already installed Caddy, take a look at my previous videos in which I show how to install, so you can just update it, update the binary. Now, you may be wondering, but will this work for everyone? And the answer is yes, because the code uses JavaScript, which is supported by most browsers since 2015 and even 2013, depending on the browser type. So we'll have 95% market share. There is another potential issue. Googlebot is known to run JavaScript, but there is a possibility that it won't actually solve the riddle, and we'll have to fix it. The fix is pretty easily. You can verify the IPs of Google bots here on this page. You can download, these are the common special crawlers. Just use the Google bot, the simple one. Extract these IPs, and I'd recommend also take the IPs from DuckDuckGo. Go back to the server, edit the Caddy file, and just add the remote IP like this. There's a lot of IPs. And a Googlebot clause. And then come back here and you can create a not bot, for example. And you can say not. You can create the not import Googlebot, and then you can place it here. And if it's not using one of those IPs which you let in, then it will have to solve the proof of work. But you can also go a step further. Let's say, I'm not going to show you this now. Let's say you take IPs from, there's a specific other project which could be used for this and which could be set up. I'm going to show you the URL. It's a matcher which actually uses providers to block. And you could set this up, and then you could add the proof of work, an additional proof of work system, to give them a larger target. So they use more energy for bots instead of just blocking them. I just noticed there was an error while editing this. So I'm going to show you, you need to do something like bot IPs with not remote IP and adding all the IPs here in one line. So this is just one line, okay? Then you do the matcher, not bot import both IPs, and then you add the not bot here. Otherwise, it's going to complain if you write not in front of import. So it needs to be in the handler upstream. Small typo. Now, let's talk about alternatives. There are a few alternatives. This is a pretty simple system which I'm using here, and this is what I love about it. It's so simple, it works, it's going to block bots, but maybe you want to use something with more nuance. Maybe you have a different web server. Maybe you don't want to use Caddy. And there's a solution for this as well. It's called Anubis. It's a Golang project as well. And I'm going to show you how it works. You can read everything about it here. It's pretty used, and you may see, if you look, this is how it's going to look. You can use Anubis with your favorite web browsers, web servers. It has configuration settings for Apache, for Caddy, for Cloudflare, of course, for Kubernetes, Docker, Nginx, Traffic. One thing to note is that even if you use this for Caddy or whatever, you add another layer, another reverse proxy. And this is why my version, or the version I used from mediocre golfer, the plugin, it's easier. It's already integrated. You don't need to set up something else. There is another alternative as well. It's called Cerberus, and it has more options to be used. It started as a port of Anubis, but it developed into something more aggressive with more options than the plugin I've shown you. And this is also a plugin for Caddy, so it's easy to install. You just do the same thing. You add a package and then it should work, or you build it from source if you want to. I hope this was useful for you, and if it is, please like and subscribe. Very important thing to know, I'm working on the Privacy Zen system, which is actually a system to provide you with minimalist secure aliases to protect your privacy and security. But I also write a Privacy Zen newsletter, a weekly newsletter, which you get more information about security, privacy, and also post more videos on this channel. So subscribe here to get the latest information. And if you have questions or comments, leave them in the comments, but also subscribe to the community Q&A. This is a very interesting Q&A platform in which I'll be sure to see your questions and I'll answer them, and we'll make a repository of questions and answers to be visible for everyone, because you know that mostly on any platform, when you place a comment, it gets lost. But here, it's going to be optimized and viewable for everyone. So please like and subscribe and leave your questions on the community. Thanks. See you in the next video.